Alright folks, we're going to have another subscriber match, and we're going to bring back our friend Crazy Guitar. Oh yes, we're going to make things a little bit difficult for Seven Shadows. Crazy Guitar has already won one show match here on this show. One of our subscribers, he's Diamond League versus Seven Shadows, who is of course Platinum. We're going to make things a little tricky for Seven Shadows. Seven Shadows was looking very, very strong, so let's see if he can deal with the might of our resident Diamond League. We will find out. Alright folks. Crazy Guitar. Needless to say, Crazy Guitar plays solo. Alright. We are ready to get started. And after this, I think we'll play a match against a subscriber. Might play against Suba, maybe, we'll see. And then we shall probably cap off the show with a little bit of photon cycles. Why not? Antigua Shipyard will be the domain for this particular venture. Should be fun. Alright folks, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to bring you this subscriber show match right here between Crazy Guitar. He is in the orange trunks and he is playing Zerg to the north of the Antigua Shipyard versus his opponent Seven Shadows. He is in the green trunks and he is playing Terran to the south. Seven Shadows just came off a win against Suba, one of our subscribers, but now faces his greatest test, Crazy Guitar, who is, I believe, a mid-ish Diamond League player. Scary, scary prospect. Antigua Shipyard, not bad for either, really. It's got the gold base, so it's quite nice for Terran as well. The idea of taking the center, for instance, and sieging up on that base is very nice. But of course, it's quite nice for the Zerg as well, because they can take a nice, easy third and transition through to the fourth in the center without too much of a problem. Creep spread between these two is not too difficult. So, we shall find out what we've got coming out from these guys, or what we are to expect. I'm trying to remember what Crazy Guitar did last time. I think he did pretty much everything, actually. There were Ultralisks involved. It was very unpleasant for his opponent. Certainly. My apologies. Certainly something to consider when going up against Crazy Guitar is that he is a little bit crazy. One might say he struck a chord with our audience. Alright. Seven Shadows is going to wall off, of course. Smart move to do. It will not save you from Crazy Guitar, however. And Crazy Guitar is going to hatch first. Unless, of course, he's got some antics up his sleeve. But, yeah, it's going to be a hatch first. And indeed, why not? They spawned in cross position here. He is entirely safe to do that. Now, we did see some nice bunker pressure from Seven Shadows earlier, but he's going to scout the wrong location, so that bunker will go in a bit late if he decides to apply more bunker pressure. That, I think Crazy Guitar could probably respond pretty well to that. Something we saw last time, which was the incorrect way, really, of responding, was to not actually kill the Marines as they came in, and, of course, only to build 2 Lings. That was the big mistake. He didn't quite see that. It's actually something I like to do, and this is kind of a tip for lower-level guys at any rate. Because up against Terran in lower leagues, it's very likely there's going to be some bunker pressure and it might be hidden behind your hatch. I tend to put my Overlord just behind the natural. The second Overlord, just dump it there for a while until you're sure that there won't be any pressure, and then you can move it out elsewhere. And that means that you're not going to have any visibility problems like Soa did last game. Alright, what are you doing, Crazy Guitar? He's going to build that hatchery and get that sorted out, no problem. It's going to be a very standard opening from here. He's going to take gas as well, which is, again, it's a good choice as far as I'm concerned. I don't know, I'm not really big into this whole not taking gas thing in the lower leagues, because I just think there's always so much of a possibility for busts. Like, obviously at higher levels, yeah, of course, you can get away with that. You're playing Grandmasters League, definitely. There's a response here by Crazy Guitar, and he'll be able to easily deny that bunker. And it's not going to waste too much mining time here either. But there's the cancel. They were already transferring down there anyway, and if bunkers come down at that point, you could just catch them out with the transfer of the drones. Second one coming down, but actually blocked off by the creep. There you go, never mind. You can't place bunkers down like that, I'm afraid. It's just not going to happen. You have to build slightly outside of the creep, which caused some range problems. Now more drones pulled off, so this is a little bit of... It's not so much fake pressure, it's mild harassment. And the question is, does Seven Shadows have the control here? If he picked off a drone, this would definitely be worth it. He's forcing out a few more Lings as well, but that's now cancelled the bunker, and Seven Shadows needs to leave now, because otherwise he will get stabbed. As you can see, there's one instantly destroyed there. You can get a single Marine around the back, but a cleanup shouldn't be too problematic there by those drones. And there's the surround, and down it goes. But yeah, as I was saying, the whole gasless style is fine at high levels, but low levels, It's just there's so many mistakes you can exploit in your opponent's build. It's like, oh, you have a dodgy wall off. Oh, you walled off with nothing but supply depots and a building mass marine. Banelings! Just banelings! Nothing but banelings! And if you don't grab your early gas, you can't do that. So, that's, you know, the metagame is not the same in all leagues. Something you've got to consider. So that's why I like to take gas, because there's just so many possibilities. And like, people's control's really bad in the lower level leagues, so you can get baneling detonations off much easier. And my control's really bad as well, but controlling banelings versus controlling marines, it's not that hard. Crazy Guitar should perhaps use this opportunity to get a little bit of information. He might be able to scout that add-on there. Can he get the factory as well? Oh, he scouts a reactor on something, but he doesn't know what exactly. 7 Shadows with reasonable positioning right there. Looking to grab his expansion as well. In the meantime, Baneling Nest is coming down for Crazy Guitar. Might be looking for some busting action, but we've got some Hellions coming out, and this kind of shuts down Banelings for the time being, because of course slow Banelings off creep versus Hellions is just not even a contest, so it's very difficult to actually do any real damage with them. If your opponent decides to go for a lot of barracks, then yeah, Banelings. But if it's Reactor Hellion, no. If you're very, very good, you can get a good Baneling detonation and actually clean out Hellions. I mean, Banelings really hurt against Hellions, there's no doubt, but it's actually getting the contact between the two that's difficult to do. If you've got a good choke point and you lure them in, or you get a surround with Lings, then yeah, you can do it. We shall see. It's always nice to have the option, though. 2 Hellions now moving in. They will be denied by these 2 Spine Crawlers. Looks like 7 Shadows actually doesn't really care for their lives. What a cruel employer he is. He is the 1%, folks. No real doubt about that. Spine Crawler now redeploying. 2 more Hellions coming out, and looks like 7 Shadows is going to give up on the Hellions for the moment, which is fine. I mean, the purpose of the Hellions here is not really to do lots of damage, it's to try and slow down the creep spread. Because if you do that... No, don't shoot that. That's bad. If you deny the creep spread, then you also slow down the third. And on Antigua, that really, really matters. So that's why you tend to go Reactor Hellion on this map, just to stop this. It also forces a response sometimes from your opponent. They're either forced to build and move Spine Crawlers, or they've got to actually build Lings or Roaches to drive you away. Or, of course, they can do that. Splat. Nicely surrounded there and destroyed by Crazy Guitar. No problems at all. Wall off is complete there. That's bustable, certainly, but the question is, can you then get in and do damage after the fact? With Siege Tanks and Siege Tech coming out, probably not. That's definitely something to consider. Well, that was very nice. Well, he's going to have a poke up, and they will see what is there. The question is, does he decide to bust, or does he decide to go for something else? Well, no Banelings coming in for him, so he's grabbed 4 gas. We're looking for a mute to play. Interesting 2-base mute to play for the moment. Crazy Guitar now moving out, I assume, to secure the third. That's exactly what he's doing. Quite late for the third, but it was denied by the Reactor Hellion, so you can hardly really blame him for that. And that doesn't put him too far behind. If we look at the SCV count, it's only 31 for 7 Shadows and 53 drones for Crazy Guitar, so it's looking pretty solid from him, for the most part. 7 Shadows doesn't really have anything that he can go and attack with just yet. His army count is surprisingly small. Only 4 Marines and a single Siege Tank at the moment. Siege Tank is now going to be available. So nothing that his opponent really needs to worry about too much, honestly. 7 Shadows is secure for the moment until the Muters come out. Crazy Guitar gets large enough Muter counting, pretty much shut down this entire army right here. Upgrade count, we are seeing... we've got no combat shield yet. I don't really know why you see a lot of people at this level neglect combat shield. It's a very curious thing. I don't know, perhaps they don't think it's quite as good as it is. Combat shield is awesome, by the way. Incredibly good, especially early game against town. You can go for some nasty timing pushes with that. Stim, on the other hand, not so great until you got a lot of medevacs out. It's a very late stim there from 7 Shadows. Nothing necessarily wrong with that, since he's playing very defensively at the moment. Command Center coming out here for 7 Shadows. Going to look to take a third and a drop coming in, but that drop's not actually going to have stim, unless it's the slowest drop in history. It's also going to end up being spotted by that Ling, so that's going to end up getting shut down. That Muter, there's a couple of Muters on the way out. Doesn't really have enough gas to make a huge amount, but there we go. There's the 9. So the 9 riders and their fell beasts will go out and most likely intercept and destroy this drop. He must have seen that, and that was made it very, very obvious. He's not rallying. Oh, there we go. He is rallying now in that direction. So that drop could very easily be intercepted and destroyed in the void above there, which would not be a good start here for 7 Shadows at all. Not liking it. Not at all. And here he comes. Here comes the interception right now. Oh my, 7 Shadows. No, 7 Shadows. Don't. Oh, he stopped. No, no. Oh, God. Oh, God. Well, Actually, Crazy Guitar doesn't respond as fast as I would have liked, but the net effect is the same, and the drop is defeated, but there you go. Creep Highway on the way up to the center of the map right here, looking to perhaps take control of these gold bases. Seven Shadows now really unable to drop because of the presence of Mutalisks on the map, so he's got to think about something else. He's got to think about a strong push with tanks and marines. Ground forces will, of course, be limited as a result of a lot of resources being put into Mutalisks, but still, he's got to watch out. Good bailing detonations could be unpleasant here. Zerg melee attack and Zerg ground carapace coming up. Double upgrades here for Crazy Guitar. Very, very nice indeed. I'm liking that a lot. Crazy Guitar is keeping out for a third, but no third is coming. So unless Seven Shadows can do a really strong two-base push and then expand behind it, he's going to be in a bit of trouble. If he turtles up, then Crazy Guitar will just take the map. You don't want to turtle up against Zerg like that. That's a very bad idea. They will just expand everywhere if you let them. Especially when they know that you can't drop because they've got mutas all over the map. Crazy Guitar actually knows exactly what's going on. There's a fake marine right there, and yet still decides to run into that force of marines. It's interesting. I don't really know why I did that. Admittedly, he didn't actually take many losses, so it doesn't matter so much. 12 mutas on the field, no sign of any more at the moment. Infestation pick coming to follow that. +2 and +2 on both sides. A burrow now completing. And we're looking to pick off some reactors and add-ons. And reactors are always a pain in the ass because they take 50 seconds to rebuild. So picking off one of those, that's 50 minerals and 50 gas. Plus, it also means that they can't build much from that barracks at all because they're having to build a reactor. So it does deny production quite nicely. Always a good target for Mutalisks, I find. More Lings coming up. Looking actually for a giant Ling and Baneling bust or perhaps burrow in the center of the map right there. Round come the Mutas once again, but Seven Shadows doesn't really have a lot he can do here. If those Mutas come in there, they can do significant damage. Combat Shield is not up. Why do people forget Combat Shield? That actually makes me mad. I used to build Combat Shield all the time. I still lose, but whatever. Combat Shield is good upgrade, especially against Mutas. It makes you survive so much longer. Indeed, the upgrade count for Seven Shadows is fairly lax. We've only got the +1 just completing there, so I'm not liking that. I'm not liking that one little bit. And Crazy Guitar is going to look for a mass Baneling bust to the center. There are a lot of tanks, though. Seven Shadows got to be cautious. You must be cautious. A mass Baneling strike through the center here. And this is quite nicely placed, honestly. He's got good placement of tanks, so Banelings are going to take significant damage trying to get through here. He charges right into that. Crazy Guitar is actually going blind into a siege tank line, which is never a good idea. He takes some shelling right there. There's a quick burrow as well. That's interesting. Seven Shadows perhaps didn't see that. I imagine he didn't because his screen wouldn't have been focused on that. So if he actually moves out over that, that's going to be incredibly unpleasant. I'm liking this move right here. The thing is, Seven Shadows is playing very cautiously, so he probably won't move out yet. All he's interested in is securing his third. The problem is the Crazy Guitar's already got a fourth and is now mining from the gold, and is building Ultralisk tech, which is quite a lot of tech, folks. That's very unpleasant. Two more command centers going down right here for Seven Shadows. The question is, does he choose to expand or actually make planetary fortresses and play Uber Turtle? Don't know how effective that's really going to be. I mean, he can funnel those Ultralisks quite nicely if he decides to put two planetary fortresses down here, but it does mean he's stuck on a third base for ages, and he can't take his fourth, while the option for Crazy Guitar is to simply move across the map there. Let's try and bait some of those Marines out. You can see he selects them there. He's like, I want to detonate these. He doesn't want to give that away, though. I would honestly try and bait out the entire army and then try to detonate from that point. I think that's what he's going to do. That Marine has no idea what he's standing on. Not a sodding clue. Oh, my. Oh, surprise! I'm actually not sure why he came up there, honestly. He didn't have to. He could have just left. I think he was just trying to freak out Seven Shadows, honestly. Running all the way back to his base and now into the corner. Why? I don't know, but it was kind of funny nonetheless. Oh, God, that gave Seven Shadows a heart attack. Alright, +3/+3 upgrade. It's going to be an Ultra Link composition, which is going to be extremely hard for Seven Shadows to deal with, considering his upgrade count is extremely low. He does have a very well fortified position. If he gets up two planetary fortresses, it's going to be fairly hard for Ultralisk to break through. But I have a feeling Crazy Guitar is just going to go wave after wave into this. He might even try to just Baneling bust through this line. I mean, the positioning is exceptional. If you look at that, look at this area right here. You can't actually attack through that. And then you've got both areas blocked off by what will look to be planetary fortresses. It's tough. It is tough. It is a nasty turtle build coming in. Alright. Crazy Guitar is gonna have a look around and see what he can see. He doesn't. Yeah, he knows about the two command centers, so he probably knows how well fortified that is. only 2 missile turrets is not enough to stop that many mutas if Crazy Guitar would decide to go in and do some damage. It's just going to take another base and another one up to the top, because, of course, why not? Why not? Crazy Guitar is now pretty much maxed, so he's going to probably wait for +3/+3 and then go for it. He may even decide to drop some of these forces past this defensive line. Now, this is, of course, the time where he wished he still had those Banelings borrowed there, because a 4th is now being taken. Here's the engagement, though. Oh, mass Banelings right in the center right there. Crazy Guitar needs to actually engage before that detonates. Bang! Banelings into the center there. Huge damage being done to 7 Shadows. Crazy Guitar should immediately reinforce at this point. The siege line has now been thoroughly broken. He doesn't really have an answer to those +4/+2 Ultras, which are about to be +5/+3. Crazy Guitar can actually just attack now. He really can. He can just go for it. Just strike. Destroy everything. That's hey, why not? Here come the Banelings, and that is that Marine count completely cleaned up. And now the Ultras to just go to town right here on 7 Shadows, who played a little bit too defensively and allowed his opponent to grow an absurd economy. And this may be all she wrote right here for 7 Shadows. Crazy Guitar getting really aggressive right here. Crazy Guitar playing 7 Shadows, which is, of course, his hit single. And that's the 3rd denied, and unfortunately, I really don't see what 7 Shadows can do right now other than to turtle up and hope for the best. He's pretty much dead at this point. +5/+3 Ultras are very hard to stop, especially when you have no Marauders at all. That doesn't help at all. No, no, no. Command Center even getting denied here as well. Muta's not exactly the most effective counter to flying Command Centers, but they're effective enough when you've got that many of them and nothing to stop you. Command Center is going to fall. Down it goes. How unpleasant. In the meantime, a drop comes in for 7 Shadows. He looks to try and pick off the Great Aspire. There's actually nothing there to stop him from doing so. Nicely done there by 7 Shadows. At least he'll be able to stop the Broodlords. But all that does is mean that Crazy Guitar is going to build more Ultralisks. So I don't know if that was really ideal. Do you really want him building more Ultralisks? I don't want him building more Ultralisks. That's scary. Very scary. Many bases being taken here by Crazy Guitar. His economy is in fantastic position. 7 Shadows now rolling out. Crazy Guitar just needs to actually attack. That's what he needs to do. He needs to attack. He's getting Banelings. Okay, cool. No problem. Build more Banelings. He's sitting on a trust fund, which I would say is an ample 6,500 resources. So, just freaking kill him. Go and get him. 7 Shadows has no way of stopping that many resources worth of Zerg. Just attack now. Just go and hit him. Just kill him. Kill him. You can build 20... Okay, fine. You want to build 21 Overlords? That's fine. Build 21 Overlords. But now just go and kill him. Are you going to pick up your entire army? Is that the plan? Alright. Okay, that might be the issue. I see. Bit of showboating going on right here, I feel. Double Spire coming up, because hey, why not? Here come the Overlords. I think this entire army is going to end up getting dropped. Or perhaps not. Will he pick up everything? Surely he will. Ah! The famous Ultralisk drop harass. Only usually you don't do it with about 8 Ultralisks and a bunch of Banelings, but this is gonna hurt. Your answer to this is going to be what exactly? It's going to be 6 Marines. Okay, yep, I fancy 7 Shadows chances here. Oh my. Da 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 da. Jesus God. 7 Shadows. Now might be the time to give it up, honestly. I think you don't really have a solution to what's coming your way. Your base has been occupied thoroughly. There are tents, there's protest signs, there's police spraying pepper spray everywhere. What can I say? It's not very nice, and Crazy Guitar has just caused horrible things to happen. All in! 7 Shadows is going all in right now. Everything he's got. Base trade scenario coming out right here. That's actually quite a scary force. There's a lot of Marines. 63. He needs Banelings. If he gets some Banelings into the center of that, that's pleasant. Alright. 7 Shadows has taken out the goal. Banelings must go and engage right now. Because that is actually a big enough army to kill Crazy Guitar right now. And it would be hilarious if it happened. It really would. Because Crazy Guitar's been showboating. And 7 Shadows has just got all in with everything he's got. There's the freaking 3rd base down as well. Here come the Ultralisks and the Banelings! Oh my god, it's a massacre. Can he hold against the Ultralisks? Does he have what he requires? Dancing into the center of the Ultras. Don't stand there! It's a bad idea! Oh god, 7 Shadows. Oh, Jesus. Ultralisks are really good against Marines. Really, really good. Oh, God. The standard 25 Mutalisk, 13 Broodlord composition coming in right here. There's still some units alive. It's alright. 7 Shadows has got 14 Marines and... Uh-oh. 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 Oh, no! Just... I can barely watch. On siege. Just unburrow. Get him. Get him. Stab him. Or do that. That works too. I'm pretty sure he can't... Ah! Oh, my. 7 Shadows is on 2 supply. I think this is over. GG, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy Guitar. Once again, the reigning champion of the subscriber show matches right here on Showcraft. Oh, my.